Powered by the Montana Television Network. This is the 10 o'clock news on Q2, Montana's news leader.
Good evening, everyone. Thanks for joining us tonight. I'm Jeanelle Slade.
And I'm Russ Riesinger. The search is over, and there is at least some closure tonight for the family of a 3-year-old boy who fell into the river near Roundup.
After falling into the Musselshell River Monday morning, the search and support never stopped as the community came together for Bryce Hofer and his family. Well, that news coming late today from Musselshell County Sheriff Sean Lesnick. Now, Lesnick says crews located the body of 3-year-old Bryce Hofer at 5:20 this evening. His body found about 2,000 feet downstream from where he fell in, east of Roundup at the Kilby Butte Hutterite Colony. Hofer was walking with his sister late Monday morning when he slipped on the ice and fell into the frigid waters. Multiple emergency responders and community members stepped up, but the search efforts were made difficult due to the cold temperatures and the thick ice. Sheriff Lesnick, just 2 days into the job, asked the community to keep the family in their thoughts and prayers. Family members were among those involved with the search alongside the train crews. In fact, Q2's David J. was talking with one of those family members here in Billings as he learned the news late today. David.
Well, Jeanelle, Russ, Bryce Hofer is a grandnephew to Tom and Abby Hinthorn of Billings. Tom is an outdoorsman who helped make sure the searchers stayed safe on the river. He gave a guess of what might have happened to Bryce Hofer.
I've seen his tracks. You know, it's just an honest, tragic accident. He simply slipped off ice into some moving water, and it was over his head at that point. You want to do as much as you can to help the situation out, recover what's lost. Thankfully that was done. Nobody was injured. Now I can just go back to saying some prayers for the family and help them move on with life. This is just, you know, a tragic situation.
The Hinthorns own a catering business, and minutes after talking with us had planned on heading back up to Roundup with food and to be with the family. Russ, Jeanelle?
All right, thanks, David. Also tonight, an update to the case of a missing teenager found dead on the Northern Cheyenne Reservation last week. The Bighorn County coroner tells us the results of an autopsy done on 14-year-old Henny Scott need more review before a cause of death can be determined. Scott was first reported missing on December 13th. The missing persons alert went out nearly 2 weeks later, and her body was found last Friday. Coroner Terry Bullis says the cause of death is pending and needs further review. The case will now be in the hands of the state medical examiner. A wake for Scott will take place tomorrow night at 7 at Lame Deer High School, with funeral services also at the school Saturday afternoon at 1 p.m. The 116th Congress began today with a record number of women representatives, greater diversity, and a Democratic majority in the House. But the partial government shutdown entering its 4th day is the first major challenge, and there's no resolution in sight. Natalie Brand has the latest from Capitol Hill.
The Speaker of the House, Nancy Pelosi, I extend to you this gavel. Thank you.
On a day filled with ceremony and change on Capitol Hill,
our nation is at an historic moment. 2 months ago, the American people spoke and demanded a new dawn.
The new Congress got down to business after electing California Democrat Nancy Pelosi Speaker of the House, a spot she last held in 2011.
The bill is passed.
The new Democratic-controlled House voted to reopen the government Thursday night, but with a funding measure that does not include money for the president's border wall.
Without a wall, you cannot have border security.
In a surprise visit to the White House briefing room, President Trump congratulated Speaker Pelosi, but with Border Patrol agents by his side, he stood firm on the wall, saying drones and other measures won't do the job.
Another meeting is expected Friday between the White House and congressional leaders, and it will be the first face-to-face between the president and a divided Congress.
This is not a wall between Mexico and the United States that the president is creating here. It's a wall between reality and his constituents, his supporters.
I think he is the one president who could persuade the country and the Congress to have comprehensive immigration reform.
But it may be a tough road ahead. The Republican-controlled Senate has already said it will only vote on a measure supported by the president. Natalie Brand, CBS News, Capitol Hill. 800,000 federal employees are feeling the impact of the shutdown, which reaches 2 weeks tomorrow. Now, if you're wondering, the longest government shutdown was 21 days from December 1995 to January 1996. That was when Bill Clinton was president.
Well, as for Montana lawmakers taking their seats on Capitol Hill, today U.S. Senator John Tester was sworn in for his third term. This after a heated and close race back in November against State Auditor Matt Rosendale. And Representative Greg Gianforte also returned to his seat in the House of Representatives today.
We are less than a week away from the 66th legislative session, and we're tracking a proposed measure to stop human trafficking in Montana. But Billings has a big stake in this particular proposed bill because it's designed to shut down the city's illicit massage parlors. Republican Representative Daniel Zolnikoff says there are about 15 illicit massage parlors in Billings and a few others in Bozeman, Missoula, and Kalispell. He says these establishments breed human trafficking from unwilling participants. Zolnikoff says the scope of the bill would go beyond the control of city law by asking the massage parlors in question to be certified. If they aren't, they would be forced to close, essentially ending any human trafficking from occurring inside the building. He says it would not impact legitimate spas.
Then there's this stain in the whole industry that's the illegal ones. And they're usually not certified because the women are being moved around. So you don't want to go after the women. That is the worst approach. You want to get the business shut down. And to get that business shut down, you have to file an injunction. So you have to find a reason to have the injunction filed.
Well, Zolnikoff believes there's a blind eye being turned on the issue of human trafficking in Montana, something he hopes the measure will shed light on. He also says something else that we'll see this session, bills to address missing and murdered Native American women.
Well, turning now to weather, Bob, it was incredibly windy in Livingston today, and that's actually a common story for the area.
It's been very windy all over Montana, but in Livingston it was really bad in Livingston. Let me show you the reason why. It's something we call gap flow winds, and what's happening is it starts with the high pressure cell in the Great Basin area, and that pushes air into the state, and a low pressure cell in either southern Canada or Montana will pull the air out. The two work together, and so what's happening is that air comes off that high pressure cell in between the mountain gaps. That's why it's called gap flow. And that wind is compressed by the mountain gaps. And so what happens is once that air goes through that gap, it really starts to speed up. And once it gets out on the other side, gap really speeds up those winds as it makes its way through the Livingston area. Now you'll notice tonight we have in the Beartooth foothills a wind advisory for 65-mile-per-hour winds through noon tomorrow. Up by Harleton and Big Timber at 60-mile-per-hour winds. There, up in north central Montana, we're talking 65-mile-per-hour winds. And over there in the east front of the front range of the Rockies, we're looking at 100-mile-per-hour winds in that area. So very breezy couple of days, but then by the weekend things cool down. We'll chat about that coming up in a few more minutes.
All right, thank you, Bob. Well, a Billings man is the winner of the Montana Millionaire Drawing, and we now know who he is.
The Montana Lottery announced that Randy May is the top prize winner for the drawing that happened on December 28th. May bought his ticket on November 30th at McPhinney's on 17th Street West and Avenue E in Billings. 2018 was the 12th year for Montana Millionaire that started in 2007.
And other winners were from Billings in 2007, 2010, and 2011, also with a ticket purchased at McPhinney's. And the 2012 winner was from Laurel. After withholding for state and federal income tax, May will have about $691,000 from his winnings.
Coming up on tonight's 10 o'clock news, Montana is working to help Montanans quit tobacco. We'll find out how well the quit line is working.
Plus, this man had a big dream for the Big Apple, and now he's almost done. We're going to take a look.
And later in sports, Rockies basketball men tried to bounce third-ranked Carroll tonight. Scott shows us how it ends.
You're watching MTN News with Jeanelle Slade and Russ Riesinger. Storm Tracker weather with Bob McGuire. And sports with Scott Breen. This is the 10 o'clock news on Q2, Montana's news leader.